Hi everyone, you have reached Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. For all of you out there, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you happen to like this video, hit the like button, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. And finally, share my video with your friends and family so that they can come to my channel and get to know me also. Today I'm here with a story about Kirk Franklin, but it actually is a story about parenthood, blended families, and when a child has feels like they have been done wrong. Okay. So it's all of those things mixed together, and I have my tea because the story is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking because I slightly understand it all too well. So Kirk Franklin, gospel singer, very famous gospel singer and producer. If you don't know, I mean, Google. We don't have time to go through all of that history here right now. And he has been married to his wife Tammy for over 24 years, or about 24 years. However, prior to him getting married to Tammy, and he got married to her very young, back in 1988, prior to their marriage, because they got married in 1996, he had a son with another woman. And that son was named Kerrion, and his name is Kerrion Franklin. So throughout the years, and now that son is 33. Okay, so throughout the years, apparently, Kirk Franklin and his firstborn, his son, and I want to say his only son. So that's a little ironic too, because with his wife Tammy, he has a daughter that Tammy had already that Kirk Franklin adopted. And then they have two children together, two daughters together. So really, if you want to do it the way it should be done, together they have four children. That's the blended family. But separately, she had one before the marriage. Kirk Franklin had one before the marriage, and then they had two in the marriage, right? So let's get back to Kerrion, who is 33, who is Kirk Franklin's only son, okay, and firstborn son that was outside of the marriage. Well, apparently this son is having, has and have had, a strained relationship with his father, Kirk Franklin. So apparently, I guess once he got in his adulthood, or maybe it was even before, they just never got along. They always had this tumultuous relationship. So the son recently posted on the social media, the Instagram, because it seems like the generation now and most people, or the times now, is you don't settle your disputes with the actual person. You take it to social media. I don't know when this came about, but that seems to be the way that people settle things now. You post subliminal messages on the social media, and the person that it pertains to, they kind of know that you're talking about them, or you directly post your grievances on social media to kind of call the person out and, make it known that you are having an issue with this person. So there was a time, I guess, when Kerrion and Kirk Franklin was on the phone having some type of dispute. The son recorded him unknown, that Kirk Franklin did not know he was being recorded, and the son decided to post this recording. And he posted the pieces, because that's what people do too. He posted the pieces that he wanted us to hear so that we can make, I guess, a negative opinion about his father. So, parents, lose their stuff all the time with their kids. I mean, if you've been a parent and you have never lost your stuff with your kid, well, you know what? God bless you. You're a saint. But especially when these kids get to the teenage years, sometimes they can drive you absolutely bananas. And sometimes you just lose it. Like, they will come ask you the same question 20 times, and you're like, yo, I already said no, you're not going, or you can't go, or you can't have this, and they still come back at you. So you need just tons and tons and tons of patience when you're raising kids. And like I said, if you have never once in your life lost it with your kids, well, you know what, God bless you. And I'm not talking about abuse, people. Like, don't even come at me and get crazy, okay? I'm not talking about somebody who beats their kids, or and yes, abuse can be verbal too, but I'm not talking about anything crazy like that. I'm just talking about like just losing and be like, okay, stop it, leave me alone. You said that already, enough. So this Kirk Franklin's son, 33, okay, and he posts part of this audio where Kirk Franklin is cursing at him, going off, saying, I will put my foot in your behind. He didn't say it that way, he said it another way. It was terrible and hard to hear and listen to, and it was pretty sad that a father-son relationship is at this point. I think it was even sadder for some people because Kirk Franklin is known as a gospel singer, and sometimes the world will put just extra stuff on you because of certain things that you do. It's like, he's a gospel singer, how could he lose it? Well, before he's a gospel singer, he is human, right? So he lost it. But like I said too, the thing I have trouble with is the son taped this. Like, now everybody's saying, what's your end game? Like, you're taping your father going off. What is your true end game? And now you release this audio. What did you want to become of this? How did you think things were going to get better by you doing this? I think if anything, the trust the trust is really like going apart, because now in my mind, like, how can I even talk to you on the phone ever or anywhere, because I don't know if you're taping this encounter. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're going to go try to sell this to the tabloids or to social media outlets. Like, what are you doing? And at 33, I get it. Listen, maybe the son felt slighted, okay? Here he is, he's the firstborn, he's the only son. Now his father is married to someone other than his mother. It appears in his eyes that all of these children are living well, are living the high life, and maybe I don't know his whole story, everyone, but maybe he felt like, I'm over here living in sloth or living low, and y'all living on the high life, and you're my father, and you're treating me like trash, and you're treating the other children better. Everything is a perception of someone's mind. And maybe this is how he felt. Maybe he felt he got slighted. Maybe he felt like, I never been to the award show. I never been to Grammy parties. I never experienced all of the things your other children experience. Because you just kind of maybe threw me away. Maybe these are the feelings that are going on or that went on in his son's Kerrion's head, right? But now at 33, no matter what happened in your past, maybe your father was an alcoholic, a drug addict, and I'm not saying these are what Kirk Franklin was. I'm just talking in general, okay? But maybe your parents were alcoholics, they were drug addicts. Maybe you got beat as a kid. Maybe all these horrific things happened to you. At some point in your life, you got to get counseling and you got to move on. Okay, and even if you reconcile with the person you felt has done you dirty or wrong, they cannot make up for the past. They can only deal with the now and moving forward. You cannot correct the past. There's no way to jump back in time. There's no time machine for you to go back in and correct the past. I'm feeling like this Kerrion, like he's feeling slighted. He has a lot of pain going on. Maybe he feels he was done wrong as a son of Kirk Franklin's. And maybe that's where all of his anger is at. And that could be part of why him and his father are just, going head to head, just bumping heads. And do I think it was right for Kirk Franklin to lose it? It's never right to lose it. Let's be clear, right? Do I think he should be saying to his son, I'm going to put my foot in your behind, I'll do this, I'll do that, Of course it's not right. Of course it's not right. Do I understand that people are human and they can lose it? Absolutely. But what I think needs to happen between Kirk Franklin's 33-year-old son and him is, and and Kirk Franklin mentioned too, because he gave an apology after this audio was leaked. He gave a whole apology. He mentioned that they apparently they had a therapist. They tried therapy, but it's just this tug of war, and I would just say to his son Kerrion, I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you're feeling inside, but I would say this: leaking that video, I don't think it's going to get you to the end point where you really want to get. I think your internal pain is deeper. I think you need your own individual counseling in addition to having counseling with your father. And then, maybe counseling with your mother too. I don't know the situation with that. And the reason why I say counseling with your mother, because sometimes when, we have this blended family situation, if all parties are not in agreement and are not like walking the line of just caring about the well-being of the child, it gets messy. The waters get muddy. It gets so messy. So we need everyone involved when it comes to a blended situation to understand that the most important thing in this entire situation are the children. Okay, we have 18 years to raise these kids. It's better to raise them right and with love those 18 years, or else they got a lifetime of mess they're going to be dealing with, and that's harder to correct. So prayers to this Kerrion Franklin, Kirk Franklin's only son, and to Kirk Franklin. I think it's always messy when families decide that they're going to take their fight to social media versus keeping it private. But I also do understand that sometimes you feel when people are not hearing your cries or no one is hearing you, you feel like the only way you're going to be heard is to bring it to a larger platform. So maybe this awareness with Kirk Franklin and him hearing how he sounded on this audio, maybe it will change his conversation with his son. You never know. Sometimes we have to look at the man in the mirror. And so this audio might be Kirk Franklin's awareness of, you know what, no matter what my son is feeling, yes, he is grown, but these are his feelings. I still didn't have to lose it that way. If we're going to preach and talk about loving people and forgiveness, then the forgiveness and the love needs to start in your home first. And Kirk Franklin, Kerrion is your home. Your seed is the reason why he's here. Okay, there was a female before your wife that gave birth to your child, and you can't just talk to that child or that grown person any old kind of way. And unfortunately, and I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that, Kerrion is, although he may be chronologically 33 years old, internally he may still be stuck at the age of that little boy where he felt that he was missing his father, needed his father, and then on top of that, he sees his father doing all of these big things, because Kirk Franklin is huge in the gospel world and just in the musical world, period. So you see your father doing all of these great things, and yet you're seeing it, but you can't be a part of it because your father is married to someone else and you're not a part of that circle. I don't know if they ever tried to bring him in as part of that circle, because his mother would have had to agree also. Just trying to take some guesses as to why at 33 he's feeling this way, and why at 33 the son feels that putting his fight on social media was the only thing he can do, the only way he can be heard. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this topic. You can go to the son's Instagram site to hear the audio, but the audio is everywhere now. I'm not playing it here. And you can also go to Kirk Franklin's Instagram, where he gives his official apology. He said, I'm human. And yeah, he is human. So, and like I said, when you raise kids, sometimes you lose your wording. You lose your wording. And I'm not saying this right, but as a human, you lose your wording sometimes. But Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Stay safe. See you in the next video. Bye.